Hey everyone, welcome back to Faith and Focus by Lara. Today we are talking about something really practical, how to use your 24 hours properly. I know time can feel like it's slipping away, but today I'm going to give you a rough study routine that actually works. We'll go through how to balance studying, resting, and taking care of yourself so you can get things done without feeling burnt out. By the end, you'll see how to make your day work for you instead of feeling like it's running you. So let's get started and make every hour count. So let's start mathematically. Every single day, you have a fixed amount of time. It doesn't matter how much or little. It's not about judgment, criticism, or pressure. Just have that number in your mind. So here's the truth. To master any skill, you need to dedicate time to it. That's a fact. You can't erase it because some people say you no matter how many it doesn't your results doesn't determine by the hours you study. There are some kids who study for 5 hours, 6 hours and still get an A, and those stories I have heard, but I read in a book that if you truly want to master a skill, you need to work 14 hours a day. I know it sounds insane. How is that even possible? I have tried it. I get it. Okay. It feels impossible. And that's why I'm here today to guide you on how to improve your time effectively without burning out. Because what 14? There are kids who study for 18 hours a day. Okay. So it's possible, and we'll see how to structure it possible. So let's start with a method that actually really easy. It's really rooted in your mindset. So you're going to have a 3-day cycle, which means you can divide your 24 hours into 4 blocks of 6 hours each. 6 a.m. to 12 p.m., 12 p.m. to 6 p.m., and 6 p.m. to 12 a.m., and then 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. Now, if you sleep from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m., that takes 6 hours, right? And you're left with 18 hours. Ideally, if your goal is to study for 14 hours, you only have 4 hours left of everything else. And that might sound stressful, but here's the reality. If your current level is around 3 to 7 hours a day, expecting a rapid improvement in 1 day or even 2 weeks is not realistic. Half the people, or honestly everyone on earth, wouldn't be where they are today if improvement was instant. Our brains are wired for quick dopamine, meaning we want results fast. We want to scroll, click, and see immediate outcomes. You see something new on YouTube and you check it immediately. Then you move on when it gets boring. You prefer YouTube, rather than long videos in YouTube for entertainment, you prefer shorts or reels. Why? Because it's normally average of 60 seconds. Your dopamine cannot last more than that. You need another instant boost of change. That's why patience feels so hard. It's not that you're weak. It's that your brain is addicted to instant result, and that will completely destroy you in your upcoming years of life, because life doesn't happen that. There is nothing like overnight success. And here's the first mindset shift I want you to take. Remove the belief that you can improve instantly. It doesn't have to be only related to study hours. It can be anything. Even when it comes to your marks, if you commit even for 1 month, I promise you can change. But it takes time, consistency, and focus, and it is possible. Okay, so moving on to the second one. You should never ever copy someone else's study hours as yours. One of my colleagues made this mistake. She copied the study hours of her seniors, thinking that's what she should do, but it created a very toxic and unhealthy relationship with her own study routine. She started hating everything, dreading every moment, and ended up completely losing an entire study year. And that's serious, because when you compare yourself to someone else and try to match someone else's limit, it's very unhealthy. So what can I do? So what I feel is that you have to discover your own maximum. Give yourself 1 day and push as far as you can. Test your limits. See how much you can really do. That's it. Just 1 day. No pressure beyond that. Now, studying doesn't always have to be hard. There are soft core study ways to study too. For example, when you're in a low energy mode, you can read the book or use flashcards. I created flashcards because studying and memorizing is very time consuming and draining. If you need flashcards, you can contact the number in the description box below. Okay, moving on. Here's the truth. You might have 7 months left, so it won't feel huge now. But as you get closer, 3 months, 2 months before your exam, you will feel the heaviness. You'll notice the stress, the pain, and how much you need to memorize and how easy it is to forget things right before your biology exam. And that's why preparation is so important. So remember again, never compare yourself to someone else. That's toxic. Instead, focus on your own progress. Work on your own maximum for a month. See how far you can go. That's not a crime. That's not something to feel guilty about. That's a blessing because you are learning, pushing yourself, and growing. And here's the bonus tip. After you complete that task, reward yourself. Do something crazy, something fun, something you love, and celebrate your own effort because it does matter. Okay, now let's go talk about a 4-day system. Okay, now, like I mentioned earlier, you can separate your 24 hours into 4 mini days. 1 mini day goes for sleep, which is usually 6 hours. Now, I know some people can pull off 4 hours or even 3 hours of sleep. That's up to them. But for me, I needed 6 hours maximum. I couldn't go below that or above that, especially in the beginning. And honestly, that's quite healthy when you're starting out. So once you take out those 6 hours, you're left with 18 hours. Now let's look at the first block. 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's your first mini day. I would say that's the most important day also because that will determine your entire day. Within the block, you can study for 5 hours and take 1 hour of break depending on how you plan it. In that way, you already have a full mini day planned. This becomes a routine, something you follow consistently. In that 1 mini day, you can decide to study chem or physics or any one subject. You'll also have refreshments and breaks. The best part about this system is that even if you mess up 1 mini day, it doesn't affect the next one. You're not ruining your entire day. Now, one very important thing I need to mention here, you have to learn to wake up early. Your first hour of the day determines your entire day, and this is not a lie, this is true. I'm normally most productive when I wake up around 6 a.m., definitely before 8 a.m., most of the time at 6. And the same goes for you. Even if I'm at home, after my A-levels, no jobs, no to-do list, nothing urgent. If I wake up at 6, that's the only time I'll do something productive. If not, I'll just lie around. And this is connected to something very important. Your day actually starts the afternoon the day before. That's a quote, which means like today, early morning, your morning routine depends on what you did last night. Your day starts the day before. The way you prepare at night matters. Clean your desk, keep your books ready, write your to-do list, set your target, keep your phone away, and please do not scroll before going to sleep. I know it sounds serious, but this is one of the biggest reasons you're not waking up early. If you're on your phone before sleeping, you will not wake up early. Like, trust me, don't lie in bed scrolling. For so many people, it's a habit at the end of the day, but it has disadvantage. It's not good for your brain. It's not good for your sleep. So don't do that. Sleep on a schedule. Now, you can separate your 3 active mini days properly, and that itself a powerful trick. There's another trick I want to share. Some people have high energy in the morning and some people are better at night. So here's what you can do. You can decide when your day starts. Normally, we think the day starts at 12 a.m., right? But you can change that. You can make your day start at 6 p.m. by 6 p.m. Because if you're a night person, from 6 p.m. onwards, you can study really well. For me, after 6 p.m., I study straight, not with huge breaks, but I do take breaks. I'm not a long-term study girl. I usually follow 15 minutes of study and then 10 minutes of break. So I study like that continuously. And when I go to bed around 12 a.m., I'll already know that I've studied, let's say 4 hours. Now, here's the best part. When you wake up the next morning, you already feel 4 hours ahead. That is extremely motivating. Even if you wake up at 8 a.m. the next day, you know you're already done something and you can still push past 12 hours. You already have the capacity. This actually helped me a lot with procrastination. It gave me a head start after 6 p.m. I don't procrastinate because I feel like I'm preparing ahead. I'm one step ahead, and that feeling gives a quick dopamine, but in a good way. The next day, you already know you're on track. You already completed a certain amount, and once you cross around 6 hours of study, you'll automatically end up with a good total by the end of the day. You can adjust this system. For example, if you feel most motivated after 12 p.m., you can start your day at 12 p.m. and count hours from there. That's completely fine. The key rule is always count hours. Track how many hours you study. I've seen people go on Pinterest and download those max rule books where you write down how many hours you studied in each box, and that's great. But we also have something similar. We have a journal, actually a 30-day journal. You can use it to record your study hours. You can print it out because it's free and it's uploaded on all our channels right now. Anyway, apart from that, let's talk about few other things. Now let's talk about a non-negotiable rules in your routine. Now these are the things you must include, no excuses. First, eating. You have to include time for meals. Second, self-care. That can be bathing, getting ready, or anything that helps you feel human. Third, movement. Movement matters. Personally, I took 2 hours of breaks, not one, two, and no, I didn't take 1 full hour just to eat. So that is where I adjusted it. For example, if I'm studying for 14 hours, 4 hours, right? I wouldn't eat like, all my 3 meals for like 3 hours. Okay, like I will take 20 minutes or, less than 30 minutes. So in that way, I had more time to have fun rather than eating. Most of the time, I took my break between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. because that's sunset time and I love that time of the day. Always have. I naturally feel calmer, lighter, and more present then. So I planned my routine around that instead of fighting it. You should always have at least 1 hour in your day where you do something you genuinely enjoy. For some people, it's drawing, reading, anything. For others, it's dancing. It can be anything. You do not have to study 18 hours every single day. Have your own things. Do what you love. Sitting, studying all day is not life. You don't need to do that. You still have 7 months. Manage your mental health, and this is very, very important. Now, here's another rule that people don't talk about enough. Always keep your study hours a secret. Now, okay, now this might sound a little bit cringe or weird, but do not tell your friends, do not tell anyone how many hours you're studying. This is not about an evil eye or something like, oh, this person studies so much. No, there's nothing like that. This is a competitive exam. And yes, but more than that, this rule is for your own good. You have to avoid unnecessary energy or attention towards that part of your life because toxic people can literally ruin your life, especially your study journey. And also, always keep your standards high. When I wanted to hit around like 16, 17 hours, I aimed for 20 hours. Only then I would actually cross a 14 and hit a 15. That's how it works. Have high expectations. You might never feel fully satisfied and you might often feel like you're not doing enough. Honestly, that feeling is usually good and it keeps you pushing. But this is important. Excessive thinking that you're not doing enough can lead to a huge downfall. So be careful there. Push yourself, but don't destroy yourself. Now let's talk about the real situation. If you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know my routine, it's completely messed up, I'm addicted to my phone, I look at it every 5 minutes, this part is for you. There are a few apps I genuinely want to recommend. The first app is called Stay Focused. I love this app because it shows your total screen time. It's normally a blue in color. You can check it out. It shows all your usage, how many times you launched apps, how many times you opened your phone, what are the websites you spent most amount of time in. It can be YouTube or anything else, everything. If I check my phone, like my phone right now, it's actually really high, like around 800 launches, which is a lot, but that's because I work on my phone and I don't use a laptop. So everything I do is on the phone. The app shows which websites you spent most time on, like how many times you unlocked your phone, how many times you opened it. Even just to check the time, it will still record it. So don't get panicked of 800. And all of it is included, which is honestly crazy. And these details are really helpful because they make you aware. Now, there's also an option to set limits if you don't want to touch social media. But my favorite app is called Lock My Phone. Now, this app is extremely helpful. You can literally lock your phone. The downside of it is you can't even call if there is an emergency. You have to have, so what I do is I add all my emergency contacts, like important contacts, to my emergency settings so I can call without unlocking the phone. Other than that, messages and nothing opens, nothing opens. So there is an option where you can unlock the phone by restarting it, but I removed that option too because sometimes I will restart it and then start using it. So I blocked that option as well. I will just lock my phone for 18 hours straight without thinking because you have to learn to live a life without a device. If you feel like I cannot live without my phone, that means you're already very addicted. Be careful because when you're doing work and you feel the urge to touch your phone during that work, that is called as addiction. So don't normalize it. Lock your phone, let your brain crave dopamine, and trust me, you'll start doing things you never imagined. Another thing is block and delete all the unwanted social media. When I studied, seriously, I had no social media. I'm not going to be rude or harsh and say don't have social media, but I will say this to you. You are an average of 5 people you surround yourself with. Now look at the 5 people around you. This is your future. I'm not joking. The 5 people is a metaphor, okay? It means the people you spend most of your time with. If they are better than you, goal-oriented, and they study well, you are on the right path. But if your friends, where you are always working hard and they are always slacking off, you will get drained. I'm not lying. My life changed when I cut off toxic people. I studied better. I had more energy. You have to remove people sometimes. That's when blessing starts. Remove negative energy. Remove toxic people. Block them. I don't care if you've been friends for 10 years. I've been there. I didn't care. I deleted. I blocked. Because always the selfish people win. And this exam is competitive. You cannot carry everyone around with you. Now, there is my favorite quote. Actually, it might sound rude, but it's my favorite. There is a reason why a bus has 50 seats and a Lamborghini has 2. Okay, so I hope you understand. Okay, moving on. I'm happier now. I worked 10 times more, and honestly, I was shocked. I blocked some people out of ego at first, but then I realized how much more I started studying and how much potential I actually had. They might not have done anything intentionally. I don't know their intentions, but their presence was still affecting me. Now, this story isn't just about me. In general, if you remove unwanted noise, everything changes. You have 24 hours. You actually have no time to waste. So why live a life full of noise? Live a life full of color. Enjoy your life. Why do you need so many negative people around you? The crazy part is you don't know who are the negative people nowadays. Now everybody is good at acting like snakes, okay? It is very normalized. Now remember, this is very important point. You are what you consume. You are what you see, you are what you read, you are what you eat, you are your habits. You cannot change that fact. If someone looks at you from the outside, what will they think about you? Because you are a reflection of your habits. Education, when you're educated, when you're intelligent, when you have a routine, come on, that's where success is. Success is hidden in your routine, in your daily routine. Something powerful is always hiding there. And this is something I really believe in. Discipline in private is always the confidence in public. Another a powerful way you can improve is by doing challenges. You can do 90-day challenges, 30-day challenges, even 75-day challenges. In a challenge, you have non-negotiables. For example, I will study for more than 10 hours every day. I will not consume unhealthy food. Now, food is extremely important now. You might not understand it now, but if you consume too much sugar, too much oil, too much fat, too much junk food, your brain's memorization capacity literally goes down. And I'm not lying, this is very, very important. So don't play a fool when it comes to food. In your challenge, you can decide what time you wake up, how many hours you study, what topics you cover, what habits you follow. When you're inside a challenge, you start feeling like a whole new person. And when you're in a challenge, please disappear. Don't tell anyone, don't tell the world I'm doing a challenge. Disappear and have the greatest comeback. So do it. Rebrand your life. Completely reinvent your life. Like live like a new person. Build a routine that forces you to create a completely different version of yourself. That's where success comes from. And here's the honest truth. If your goal is to study for 14 hours every single day, it will not look clean. It won't look perfect. It will look like 14 and then 10, then 7, then 15, 3, but there will be days where it's 0. And yes, that's still consistency, but let me not sugarcoat. Consistency does not look like 14, 14, 14, 14, 14, 14. Okay, it doesn't look like that. Consistency looks like 14, 11, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then 11, 12. Okay, but always have a bare minimum, which like you will not go below 10 hours. Don't go very much extreme, but in the beginning, you will have drastic changes, which is completely fine. Try to always stay above 10. Minimum, if you're starting, I'll say 7 or 8. Because if your days are full of zeros, 3s, and 5s, it won't work. In a 7-day week, you're allowed to have 2 bad days, maximum 3. 3 would be more like medium days, 2 can be bad days. Now, bad days means you studied for, 5 to 7 hours, it was unproductive, something went wrong. It's okay to have a 0 day also, because there are some kids who will kill themselves if it goes, because life is life, okay? And that's okay, but you still have to study. And the rest of the days, you have to go crazy, like push for 14, 15, 16. So remember, progress is not a straight line, and that's the truth. And with that, I'll conclude today's episode. So before you go, do this one thing. Plan your routine, throw away the distractions, and like I always say, change your study place. Habits are attached to the places. Change the place you study. Sit down, focus, study well. If there are topics you want me to talk about, you can comment them. I don't usually mention this, but do subscribe if you want to learn more about Prep Set Go, which is one of our programs. You can contact the number in the description box below. And if you want to purchase my Leica flashcards, you can also contact the number in the description box below. I'll see you in the next episode of Faith and Focus.